Good morning, everybody. My name is Adnan Hussein, and this is
Khalid Poe.
and we are here to bring to you guys the Tiger Podcast. Now, last time we were on the podcast, we talked about trading and Kevin Durant specifically, and how basically athletes being traded can have like a personal effect on fans, or some may feel like. But this time around, we're going to take a different route, and we're going to talk about something that's so common also in real life that people tend to forget about with sports, which is injuries. Injuries, whether it be to the head, whether it be ACL, MCL, I mean, the concussions, the list goes on and on and on, as far as injuries are concerned. And in a moment when there's so much adrenaline, so much just so much stuff going on all around you, people tend to forget the actual risks that come along with playing sports, especially heavy-hitting sports such as football or hockey. Even basketball is kind of considered one of the lesser contact sports, but there's still a lot of contact nonetheless. And today we just wanted to look and just dive deeper in to the topic of sports and how it can affect not only those athletes during their athletic careers, but their lives going down the line whenever they're done playing. How do you feel about sports and basically all the risks and injuries that come along with it, you being an athlete yourself?
Okay, so with football, I feel like football is one of the most impacted sports of all time.
Right.
Because it's like, that's why, like, when people see football players and they be like, damn, like, he's strong, but they have to be like that for that sport. Because if you, like, frail and fragile and skinny, you could really die, out there on the field. Like, because every possession is showtime. Like, you're going to get hit in that sport. Like, that's one of the sports where you're going to get hurt. At some point in your career, you're going to get hurt. So I feel like with football, you got to definitely have a different mindset. You definitely got to be half crazy to want to go out there and, want to hurt another dude. I seen on Instagram, this Alabama, this lineman for Alabama, he was doing a little draft, the draft interviews. And they interviewed him, and they was like, what pushed you to get up in the morning and play football? He was like, I just want to wake up and hurt another man. And I was like, bruh, that mindset is really what gets you through that sport every single day. So football, bro, you got to be a little different to even especially at the higher levels, like the NFL, where everybody's strong, everybody fast.
Right.
It's just, you almost, I think everybody who's ever played football in the NFL has got injured. Nobody's went through their whole career without getting injured in the NFL.
And it's not a matter of if you're going to get injured. It's how you're going to get injured and how bad is it really, it could range from a concussion, you'll be out, or a toe sprain, you'll be out for a week to 2 weeks. Or, God forbid, you could tear your MCL or have a head-on collision, and it could lead you to have serious mental problems. Since we're on the topic of football, one of the most known stories is, what was the tight end's name for the Patriots? No, the tight end, Hernandez. The one
from the Falcons.
The one that got caught. He went to jail for the murder. The one that he won a championship with the Patriots. If I remember his name, I'll bring it up later on in the podcast. But
they said some of that was because of football.
He was a big time NFL player, but he had severe CTE, which is a condition where your head has been battered so many times that you almost lose all sense or even just regular emotional stability. And with his case was so bad that it led him to actually go out of his way and murder somebody that his sister was extremely close, a cold-blooded murder that his sister was to someone that his sister was close to. And they didn't realize that he had that disorder until after he was dead, because they can't diagnose it in a brain that's alive and working. And that's part of what I mean, back to my point in the beginning of the podcast, is you don't know how much it can affect you, especially in the earlier stages. It'll hit you more and more later on down in the line. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people, you know, they see football or they see different sports and they see lights and they see people in the stands. The music is playing, the bass hits your chest and whatnot. And it's just those types of things you just don't pay attention to or really give a lot of mind to as athletes. And I feel like that's something that, I don't know, a lot more attention should be brought to. But that's just one sport. You know, football is one of the heavier hitting sports, as we've already discussed. Now, what do you think about the sports that are less physical or less, like, for instance, like whether it be for example, like baseball? Would you, like, for instance, if you had a child of your own now and they said, you know, Dad, I want to play baseball, like, what would you feel some type of way in terms of like, oh, okay, go ahead and do it because you know the risks are a lot less, or would you still think, okay, you know, even though it's not that physical, there's still stuff that can go wrong in terms of, you know?
I feel like with baseball, it's one of those sports I definitely would let my kid do because, like, it's way more pros than cons.
Yeah, right.
First of all, baseball, you can make it in baseball real early out of high school. They'll draft you. It's good enough.
Yeah, right.
Second of all, they pay, like, it's one of the most highest paid sports in history.
Even the little leaguers, they get a lot of money.
And the third of all, you don't have to be athletic to play baseball. Yeah. Like, you could be like 5'1" with a gut and like play for the Yankees, bro. Like, Babe Ruth was not athletic at all, bro, at all. And he's one of the best. Like, you don't have to be. You just have to be able to hit.
Have a strong arm, almost a strong arm. That's what it seems like.
And if you are athletic, it's just a plus. Yeah. Like, you would be like a walking highlight all the time. Like Deion Sanders or Bo Jackson.
Yeah, right.
But the cons of it, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the cons of it is probably when you at base hitting and the pitcher is throwing. Cause like I done seen people get hit. I done seen people get hit like in the jaw with a baseball and they like swell up their whole face. Yeah. Some people you could die from from a ball hitting you that fast in your head. So that's why but I would definitely let my kid play baseball.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like this is one of those things where the chance of that happening is very slim. Plus they got helmets that you can wear to prevent the ball hitting you on your face.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and it's funny about the helmet. And I know we just talked about football, but it's the difference between the equipment used for a sport like baseball and the equipment used for a sport like football. I mean, you would think with all those paddings and helmets and cleats, I mean, every part of their body is covered with some type of padding.
Yeah. And they're already strong.
And they're running, they're in ridiculous shape. Some of them will be 5'5", 5'6", and be give or take 230 pounds. You know, and even through all of that, those types of injuries are still possible in terms of the severity. Yeah. And that's why I think, and it's crazy to think. You would think because a sport like football, they put their bodies through so much more stuff, you would get paid more to play football, right? Yeah. But it's the sports in reality like baseball or like tennis or that just, soccer. Oh my goodness, soccer, that's a good one, that are the highest paid sports. Like, and I mean, Americans love football, don't get us wrong, but it just doesn't make sense. It's like almost you're putting yourself through extra labor and risking your life, honestly.
Yeah.
The way that I see it, football should 100% be the highest paid sport, but it's...
You miss again like many car accidents every day.
Many car accidents, that's the best way to put it. And to still be able to think and function, and that's why, the Tom Brady's, for you guys that know, or Brett Favre's, or, the list goes, Dan Marino's, the quarterbacks that played really long NFL careers, you have to just tip your hats off to them, and they have to, praise God, literally, because
the drive they have is different, bro.
Insane.
It's me personally. If I'm in the NFL, I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm only gonna play this for about 6-7 years max, because I want to be able to walk, bro.
Yeah, and you just never know when that hit is gonna come towards you, and next thing you know, everything is blurry. You wake up, you're in a hospital room, or you just don't know. You can't. Oh man, it's bad.
It can be bad.
It can be
hits like. you can get blindsided. That's why if I play football, would not be a slot. Once you like break down, come back say, "Hey," you break down, get him off. You gotta catch the ball. You can't worry about if he coming or if he coming or if he coming. So as soon as you catch the ball, they smack you on all different angles.
Exactly.
And that'd be the worst.
You might see it, you might not see it too at the same time.
And you can't
you can't predetermine or
you can't juke them out and try to catch it. Like you gotta catch the ball first
and then turn around. And by the time you're halfway turning around, it might be your fate to already be laid out on the floor before you even know it.
Sometimes like a linebacker hit you from underneath and a quarterback hit you up top, but now your body
is just literally, you look pancake. You'll be on the floor with your legs backwards, your body this way, and people like, oh my God,
but
you
a bunch of because they get up.
They get right back up in that next possession, but your body can only take so much of those types of beatings before eventually like your brain is destroyed, like your brain is fried. And that's, I don't know, that's something that,
all of them are monsters.
Yeah, that's something that you have to tip your hats off to as I mean, whether you're another athlete or whether you're just a regular person, is the type of brutality they put their bodies through. And now this is a little bit, so how do you, it's different. Okay, with football, it's more injuries. This is the last topic that we'll have. With football, it's more injuries that are like head related, or just more of your body parts that don't have a whole lot to do with your lower body, if that makes sense. Now with basketball, you'll hear about, ankle sprains, and the worst one that puts a lot of basketball players out, and this is more common with basketball than any other sport statistically, not even close. MCLs, ACL tears, knee complications, things that have to do with your legs, and being athletic and jumping so high and constantly running up and down a basketball court, and that amongst a lot of other, and all the sudden stops that your body has to make and like the type of shape your knees and strength your knees and feet and legs have to be in. How do you feel about I guess it seems like it's almost two different risks, but I just asked you, for example, if you had a son that played baseball, how would you feel if he went out every single day compared to football? Now, if he played basketball, knowing, the Derrick Rose stories, Stephen Curry stories. There's been so many countless NBA players who have injured their ankles or their ACLs or MCLs, like I just mentioned. Right. How do you feel about those risks being taken by the basketball players in terms of just, it doesn't matter how much preparation you put yourself through, your body through, that split second, even something of you just jogging down the court, everything can just come to an end right before your eyes. How do you feel about that?
With basketball, I feel like basketball is one of those sports. If you get injured, like one of those, it's just unlucky.
Yeah.
Because when I've never had an injury.
Yeah.
Until I got to college.
Yeah.
Like in my life, like with the ankle, like that was probably one of my worst injuries ever. Wow. And that only happened because like I had stepped on somebody's shoe. Like, what are the odds of me stepping on my teammate's shoe?
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like with basketball, and you do gotta be careful. When like jumping and landing is super important.
Right.
And ankle support when you like shifting, especially if you like really quick. You gotta be careful how fast you shift, because you could like some can go out of place. But with basketball, I'll let myself play basketball because just the chances of that happening is kind of slim.
Yeah,
but you just gotta and the thing that if you like tear your ACL, that could change your whole perspective on the sport. Like if you really love basketball, you'll get back into it.
Yeah.
But most people be like,
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
ACL
I'm done after that. Because it's just And honestly, bro, if you're not in college or professional, it's really no point.
There's no point in playing unless you're getting your school paid for. Or something,
I won't even risk that.
Right. Well, that's the topic that I really wanted to touch on today. Is just injuries and just bringing it to light in terms of just how, I don't know how people just tend to really overlook that part. And this is something that I've actually I've had on my mind personally as well. Like I've thought about being an exercise science major or like just multiple different things to work with the body, just so I can help as well, bring light to other people and have them just understand, like me being an athlete myself, it's not an easy task. You know, when you're in middle school and high school, you're the coolest guy in the school for playing a sport. You don't really deal with real life problems or situations or injuries then, but it's like, you know, once the higher level you play and the more, it's just the more risks, the more you have to lose, basically, whether it be health or just things outside of basketball related stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to shed some light on that, you know, and that's the end, unfortunately, of the Tiger podcast. And I'm extremely grateful that you guys have decided to join me today, and I hope that, you know, I was able to share some knowledge with you guys and help you understand more and more about just the risks in the daily life of athletes. KP, thank you for coming and joining me on my podcast. And yeah, have a good day.